Welcome to the weekly Health RX by Arvasi. I'm Dr. Avanti Kumar-Singh.
And I'm Dr. Tanmeet Sethi. We're physicians trained in modern medicine and experts in Ayurveda. And each Sunday, we cut through the noise with physician-led, science-backed prescriptions personalized to your biology.
From your hormones and gut to your circadian rhythm and nervous system, we'll help you take care of the systems that matter most so you can stop guessing and start feeling better. Finally, medicine that fits you.
Hello and welcome to your weekly Health RX for the week of November 9th. This is Tanmeet and I'm here with Avanti. And this week we're talking about what happens when the exercise that always worked for you suddenly doesn't. And I'm guessing some of you are feeling this right now. You might be noticing that your usual workout routine, the one that's always given you energy, now might be leaving you completely exhausted. That maybe you finish your morning run or yoga class, and instead of feeling energized, you need to lie down. And maybe your joints ache more than they used to. You know, your knees creak when you go down, or your hips are a little tight when you get out of bed. And the cold, dry, windy weather of November makes everything feel harder on your body. Like you're trying to move through this resistance, this mud that wasn't there before. So then you're wondering, what is wrong? Is this still the right exercise for me, or am I just getting older?
I definitely feel this because in Chicago, it's really cold and I start feeling a lot more stiff, a lot more achy. And, I think that it's really important to realize that maybe what you were doing in the summer season is not what you should be doing in the fall season. And that's actually what Ayurveda says. And it's also based on your dosha. And then on top of that, it's based on your stage of life. So there's a lot of different things that are coming into play here. And it doesn't have to be confusing, though. We're going to clear up the confusion today for you. So I see this in my practice all the time. I see it in myself. What about you? How do you experience this in yourself?
Yeah, I notice it definitely in myself. And then what I notice is that my patients, kind of feel like they're doing something wrong. And so what we really want you to know that if this is how you're feeling, you're not imagining it. You're not just getting old, quote unquote. This is your body. Especially if it's in perimenopause or menopause, it's your body responding to both the seasonal change and the hormonal change at the same time.
Exactly. And, I was thinking about it. It's actually like there are three forces that are hitting you at the same time, right? First, we're in the second week of November, which is peak Vata season in Ayurveda. And the weather is cold and dry and windy. Your skin is drier, your lips are chapped, your body is feeling really depleted from that increased, cold weather and the dryness that's in the environment around us. And this is sort of that external pressure that you're feeling. Then you have your hormones in perimenopause and menopause, like you said, and these are fluctuating, right? Estrogen is dropping, which then affects your muscle recovery, your joint lubrication, your inflammation levels. Progesterone changes are affecting how your body regulates cortisol and stress. And this is sort of that internal pressure. So we have external pressure and internal pressure. And then on top of that, the third thing is the demands of November are just increasing, right? We're going into the holidays. Holiday stress is building. Thanksgiving is around the corner. It's 2 weeks away in the United States. There's less daylight. We just went through daylight savings, right? And that affects your energy. You have so much more on your plate and you have fewer reserves to draw from. And this is the life pressure. So you have this external, internal, and life pressure. And I think it's really important to sort of connect the dots and understand that your exhaustion from exercise and sort of feeling like, is this working? It's not just about the exercise, it's about all of these other forces that are at play.
Right. So let's talk about what estrogen actually does for your body when you exercise, because this is something that I find most women don't know, and honestly, most doctors don't know either. Estrogen is not just about your menstrual cycle or reproduction. It's a metabolic hormone that affects almost every system in your body. And when it comes to exercise, it's doing actually about 5 critical jobs.
Right.
It's multitasking as usual.
Just like we are.
Yeah. So first, it makes muscle protein. I'm sure most listeners have heard a lot about this lately, about helping your muscles repair and rebuild after you work out. In fact, there's studies like the one from the Journal of Applied Physiology that showed that women with higher estrogen levels had significantly better muscle recovery and less muscle damage after resistance training. So we know that it helps with this. Second, joint lubrication. Estrogen actually regulates the production of synovial fluid, which is the fluid that lubricates your joints. Research published in the Journal of Menopause found that postmenopausal women had up to 30% less synovial fluid in their knees compared to premenopausal women. So it's no wonder your knees feel creaky and dry. And then third, inflammation regulation. Estrogen is at its foundation an anti-inflammatory hormone. It modulates your body's inflammatory response to exercise. And we have studies to show that when estrogen drops, inflammatory markers spike higher and stay elevated longer after exercise. So you might be taking longer to recover than you used to. The fourth one is collagen production. Estrogen stimulates collagen synthesis in your connective tissue. That really means your tendons, your ligaments, the structures that actually hold your body together. And we have research to show that women in menopause have a 50% higher risk of tendon injuries than premenopausal women. You might be feeling that as laxity in your joints. And then the fifth one, body temperature regulation. So estrogen actually helps you dissipate heat during exercise. So you might be overheating more easily now and struggling to cool down. So, when you really look at it, right? Estrogen does so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible because I feel like I'm experiencing all of these things. And even though I'm a doctor, I often forget, how much estrogen does exactly. It is a multitasking hormone that really is important. And I think what you're really saying is that, because of this drop in estrogen, in perimenopause and menopause, your muscles don't repair as quickly. Your joints feel stiffer and drier. Your inflammatory response is heightened. You have more soreness and longer recovery. Your connective tissue becomes less resilient, so you have a higher injury risk, and you overheat more easily during exercise. No wonder it's so hard to figure out what to do because you're not feeling that great when you exercise. It's really, really tough.
Right. And then, when you actually think about what's right for your body in this fall season, which is a Vata predominant season, then there's even more complexity to it. But we're going to really explain what the Vata season adds to this picture. Right, Avanti?
Yeah. In Ayurveda, we understand that the qualities in your environment affect the qualities inside your body. It's not metaphorical. It's actually physiological. Right? Vata is made of air and space, and the qualities of Vata are cold, dry, light, mobile, and rough. And in November, in the peak of fall, these qualities are increasing everywhere around us, in the weather, in the wind, in the shortened days. And so when you do this high intensity, depleting exercise in Vata season, especially exercise that might be cooling or drying or overly mobile, like, long runs outside in cold weather or, a lot of jumping and bouncing movements, you're actually adding more of the same qualities of Vata, more dryness, more cold, more depletion. And that's already on top of a depleted system. Right. And so this is really where that golden principle of Ayurveda comes into play, which is that like increases like and opposites reduce. So when you add the qualities of Vata in the exercise you're doing on top of Vata season, it just really, really causes problems. And so what we do to solve this problem is to adjust exercise to match your hormones and the season and match your dosha. We're not stopping exercise. We're actually making it support your body instead of depleting it.
Right. So no matter what your dosha is, we're going to talk first about 3 universal principles this week that apply to all of you. First, match the intensity of your exercise to your recovery capacity. So what that means is if you're a woman in midlife and perimenopause or menopause, your recovery capacity has changed. We know from studies that women over 45 need 48 to 72 hours on average to recover from high intensity exercise compared to 24 to 48 hours when we were younger. So this week, if you're doing any high intensity workouts like HIIT or intense cardio or heavy lifting, reduce the frequency to every other or third day. Give yourself a chance to recover. Secondly, prioritize joint-friendly movement. Because remember that synovial fluid statistic and research I was telling you about? Your joints need movement that lubricates, not a pounding kind of movement. So this week, reduce impact whenever possible. You really want to, avoid jumping and quick movements and try really things like walking or swimming or moving at a less impact. Third, warm up more and cool down more. This is the one I never adhere to. I'm going to tell you right now because I'm Vata and I just want to get my workout done.
Yep.
And so I just don't think I need to warm up or cool down. I'm just like ready to go. But that's not true, especially when the temperatures drop, because then your connective tissue literally becomes stiffer. So we know from studies that we can increase the risk of muscle and tendon injuries by up to 40%. So really, think about that this week, adding 5 to 10 minutes to your warm-up. Make your gut body temperature rise before you ask it to perform. And I'm telling you, I have to remind myself of this every time, and I'm still guilty of it.
Yeah. And I think these three things alone will make such a difference in how you feel about exercising. And because you're going to feel different after you exercise, you're going to feel better. But, we also know that the real magic happens when you can match your movement to your dosha and then also adjust it for the season.
Right. Because it depends entirely on that dosha. You have that unique biological blueprint that kind of dictates whether you need more or less intensity of exercise in November. So, you're a Pitta Kapha, Avanti, right? So in November, you probably need something very different than me.
Yeah. I need steady, consistent movement. Like I need to make sure that I have it scheduled on my calendar because that helps to really prevent that Kapha earth stagnation that I can really, really fall into. But then also because I'm a Pitta Kapha, I have to be careful to not overheat my Pitta side with too much intensity. So it's going to be very different prescription than yours than me.
Yeah, because I'm Vata Pitta and I need grounding, stabilizing movement because my nervous system is wired, especially at this time of the year. And I have to have it be structured enough so that my scattered energy doesn't get more scattered. And so both of ours are even different from what a pure Kapha would need. So that's why this personalization is so important.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we created the Arvasi dosha data assessment, because the general principles will help all of you for sure. But the personalized prescription, that's where the magic is. That's based on your unique blueprint, your unique biology, and that's what can change everything. So if you want to know what your specific dosha is, you can go to myarvasi.com and take the dosha data assessment. It'll take you about 5 to 7 minutes, and you'll actually discover what your dosha is. And then you'll get your specific movement prescription for this week that's based on your biology and your constitution. It's linked in the show notes for you.
Right. So let's recap those 3 universal principles so everyone can benefit from those regardless of your dosha. So remember, it's number 1, match intensity to recovery. Number 2, prioritize joint-friendly movement. And number 3, warm up more and cool down more. And those 3 adjustments will make a significant difference for you. But now we can talk about what this means for you and your dosha.
Thanks for listening to the Weekly Health RX by Arvasi. Be sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen so you never miss your weekly prescription.
And make sure to take the Arvasi Dosha Data Assessment at myarvasi.com, linked in the show notes, so you can unlock your biology and get your own personalized weekly prescription.